Anyway, this will be the second and final stop for the pruning workshop on young trees. The first day-long one was really concentrating on mature trees with a mature bearing habit. Today we really wanted to look at young trees, young tree training, and really we should be looking at training and not pruning. And at the end, first stop was down at Noggins Corner, looking at some 3- and 4-year-old honeycrisp and ambrosia, and we saw some problems that had started to occur in that young planting, and we were sort of looking at how to correct those and not let it get any further out of hand. Waldo agreed to host a stop, and the intent was that there are several young plantings across the top here, and we can sort of look at some different ages in a couple different varieties. And so we're going to start at some 4-year-old honeycrisp on 26, and our first stop we were looking at 3- and 4-year-old honeycrisp on 26. And if you can relate to what we saw down there and look at these trees, we have something totally different. First thing I noticed coming in here that Waldo's has been very successful in developing a lot of lateral shoot growth. So now he has all kinds of options on how to handle this tree and keep it in balance and in check. The last stop we were problems. We only had either weak laterals or a few big ones. And in this case, we don't have too many limbs that are out of balance in the tree. I'd expect this year he has fruit bud on it, that he'll likely take a little bit of cropping off it, but I'll let you explain that. But what I like are all the up and downs, and to me now it's just a matter of starting the process of thinning out the number of laterals so you can keep some vigor in the tree and have good options. So Waldo, I want you to comment on how you handled these in the first 3 years to get them at this shape.
Okay, I think these are Geneva 30. I'd have to look at the records, but
okay.
Some of them maybe. These are some trees I bought here.
You cheated me. I thought they're 26s.
Well,
there's a big difference now between the two. Why they're
Geneva 30. These Golden Delicious and Gala are on 26.
Okay.
These are 14 by 5, approximately.
Mm-hmm.
I just try to remove anything that's over 50% first year. Or sometimes I'll actually remove all the branches if it only has one big branch sticking out the top. I'll remove everything.
So the first year were there many laterals on these trees or not?
I think these were fairly poor quality trees. So I stripped a lot of them right down to nothing.
I'm going to ask, did you grow them?
Not these ones here, but yeah, some of the ones that were poor quality I grew. Oh yeah.
No. Okay, so you did first year, you stripped them down, so there were never like 3 or 4.
I cut everything off.
So there were no.
Some of them I cut everything depending on the tree.
Mm-hmm.
Some had some half decent branches. Some of them the branches were way too big. They were over 50% the size of the leader, so I basically cut them all off.
Okay, then your second.
And stubbed them back.
Okay, and then in your second year.
Second year was not last year. I'll just remove the large, anything that's over 50%,
right.
and try to keep this top going.
Okay. So your intention this year?
Well, I cropped a little bit off of these last year, but this year they should have a pretty good crop on them. So I guess what I would do is I would go in and cut off some of the larger limbs. I don't know if that's too large, but at least work and try to maintain that, keep that top. You don't want it much taller, but you got too many limbs up in here, too many heavy limbs up in here.
Yeah, you're getting a little crowded in this.
Oh yeah, I agree.
So it's a city now.
I'm just saying,
yeah.
They're too heavy.
There's not an issue of quality coming off these trees this year. I mean, they're going to have lots of good light, just a matter of maintaining vigor.
What about these big ones? Are they too big?
Well, the problem is once you remove them, what are you going to have down close to the ground?
Nothing.
So
that one's not going to do anything.
No, that's too. As soon as you thought they were too big, I think your cropping is going to look after them.
Anyway, I don't know how many of these I should be taking out.
I'd be still 2 or 3.
I don't think you need to do much to them, really.
No, but I think you need that thinning out process to start.
I'm trying to just stub cut them.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do much more to that tree than that. Maybe take 1 or 4 of these out. I want to get some production off them this year. So.
Yeah.
take more out. I'm not scared. These are CG30. I'm not scared about them rotting out.
You already ruined that one, I think, too.
Come to this. No, you come.
Well, I like
that one's been done.
these branch angles are pretty flat.
Yeah, there.
That's been done. So yeah.
I think exactly what Waldo's done is that every cut you make, you're not just removing branches. You're looking to you're looking for a new shoot to come out because you want to renew things. Like this is all replaceable. These are the only ones that are going to stay. These are going to be here forever. Unless one of Waldo's cattle eat them off, and then from there up we're going to everything is renewable. So every cut we make, we want something to replace it. Just like I said, you know, your problem spots are in here. You watch your caliper, your trunk. That's the first thing I always look at. Coming up here, you see your caliper. You watch caliper coming up here. These bottom scaffolds aren't choking it out, so your diameter is not dropping all that much. But it's right in here where we got an issue because you're going to have the fruit quality back in here. You're going to have limb rubs, you got stuff laying on top of the other. So the easiest thing to do, and it all comes back to training your help too, is when you try to tell your help, what are you going to do in there? And if it was me, I'd say you watch from your belly button to your nose, and you go in and you pick out the most offensive limbs, and those are the ones that are the biggest. And you leave a stub because you want them to come back in. And I don't know, I don't do a lot of people spend a lot of time singling out things. I don't worry too much about it because a lot of these dards will have a fruit bud on the end and they'll end up coming down anyway. But anyway, we still got two. This one here, it's too heavy a limb. I'd probably take it out next year. I'm not going to take it out this year because I want the fruit that's off it. So we've got a little, make a couple little cuts to get things going. But now up on the top here, we don't want all our wood to get old at the same time. And that's one of the problems. Is now all this stuff is all going to be fruited out and you're going to have a bunch of old spurs. So what you want to do is through, just thin stuff out enough so you're spacing the crop out. But you're going to get renewal shoots come out here, so next year you'll have light stuff that'll come back in. And I'll find something in here should come out. Anyway, I don't like either of those. We're not going to take them out this year. We're going to fruit them this year, and next year we'll have something else hanging behind them I don't know. I don't tend to do a lot of nipping on these things because we're going to have a terminal fruit bud, except for that one just broke off, and it's going to flatten the stuff out. So.
What do you think of that, Larry? That limb there, so long, full of fruit. Do you think it's going to be too heavy that you're going to have to stub it back, or?
Well, yeah, and I mean you got your space.
You don't like
anyway.
the beheading, but.
Well, actually, with honeycrisp, it doesn't matter. You get a flat limb, you can make it cut you want. You cut there, you can cut here, cut anywhere. Just to, you're right. Yeah, just to step in that. Probably that thing would come off. But that's the beauty of a flat limb. You can do anything you want to it. Make what called dirty cuts because it doesn't matter. It won't do anything. But if that was upright, the worst thing you could do on a limb like that is come and do anything to it because we want. And that's why I leave them fluffy because I like to get those fruit buds.
Get the weight on
up and down. Like the best training system is the fruit itself. It's not a piece of string. Use the apples. At least you get something out of them. You don't have to go back and cut them off, and that'll bring them down. So.
There's a problem tree there, so you.
Yeah, I looked at that too.
Leader, you lost your leader here.
I knew you.
So you're either going to have to cut this off here and start over with this, or there's a couple options here. I don't know what you think, but that's what I might be. This has lots of.
You got a good shoot growth on it. Why?
Pardon me?
It's got a good.
Well, maybe you can.
It seems like when they're juvenile, they stay that way. If you got something that's starting to grow, you're a lot better off than something like this, which is all old.
I agree. I would cut that off there.
Yeah.
And then I'd tie this up.
The big thing with doing this is, it's like I said,
make sure you get it tied up.
If you aren't going to tie it up, then you better trim what you got because it's not.
And that might be the case too. I mean, we do run through these and tie them.
I got one. Actually, I got one more.
Get rid of that.
Yeah.